Boyhood is a 2014 film that I just got done watching, and I'm sure by now most people have heard of Boyhood, know what it's about, because when this movie came out, it got a whole lot of praise, and not just from critics, but especially now around Oscar season. It's one of the movies that everybody is talking about, so I finally got the chance to watch it. So let's talk about it for a little bit. It's directed by Richard Linklater, and the plot is, well, I guess there really isn't much of a plot technically. Really, the movie is we're following this kid, Mason, and at the beginning of the movie, he's really young. I think he's in 7th grade, and throughout the film, you just sort of go through several important moments in his life. Various moments of him just growing up as a kid, going through the young years into high school and then to eventually entering college. So what I thought of this movie was, wow, I was pretty impressed with this film. Out of the Oscar movies that I have been watching, I'm not going to say that this was my favorite. Sure, I liked other ones like Birdman and whatnot, but still, I do think this at least deserved the nomination. And I wouldn't be surprised if Richard Linklater won Best Director. In fact, he deserves it, because just the idea of this movie is out there. It's pretty crazy that he not only had this idea, but pulled it off. And that he even found a movie studio that allowed him to do something like this. The fact that he had this idea to not only follow a character as they grew up, but having to have this same actor as a kid. And then I could only imagine the schedule and how they must have shot this. To get the actors to agree that, hey, every couple of years we have to come back to shoot different scenes. And it takes place technically over the course of 12 years, this whole shoot. It's unprecedented. It's never happened before. I can't see it happening again, but at least it has happened this one time. The actor who plays Mason, he was good. I mean, I liked him more when he was a kid. I thought he came off more likable and had more stuff to do. When he got older, he just, I don't know, he didn't really seem as great of an actor as he was, but he still was there. He did what he had to do. I really found fascinating watching somebody like Patricia Arquette, who plays his mom. And she was fascinating because at the beginning of the movie, you see her and you forget that, oh yeah, this is 12 years ago, Patricia Arquette, back when I remember her being hot. You know, and then it's like gradually over time you see in this movie her getting older and becoming a mom, and she looks more like a mom. So that was pretty fascinating. She was really good in here too. She had a lot to do just as far as being a single mother and really struggling. She was struggling, and how she just had the worst and horrible taste in men, the guys that she's married. One of the husbands in particular is just a drunk and abusive, and really went down a darker path than I thought it was going to go, and seeing the kids have to be put in a situation like that. But I did like that she always tried to do right by the kids. And then you have Ethan Hawke, who is the father. They have separated, so he only comes in, he gets to see them every other weekend, but he was great in the movie. Ethan Hawke is a great actor, but I liked the scenes with him the most. He would come in, he was the fun dad, he would try to joke around and relate to them, and his scenes just felt like the most natural and fun. So I always liked when he came in on screen. I also liked his progression of starting off as he wasn't nearly a bad father, but he wasn't there as much as he could, especially because they kept moving to different states, and he tried to be there as much as he could. He didn't have a real job, but then the older the characters got, you saw him becoming more responsible, and he actually ended up being a good parent. And I also want to mention the sister character. She's played by Lorelai Linklater. if you could guess, it's the daughter of the director, Richard Linklater. And I found that interesting because as I was watching the movie, I thought, wow, so not only are we watching this boy grow up, but we're also watching his sister grow up. And it never really seemed like they got along all too well. But that too I thought was interesting, that they had this young actress and they kept her throughout it. And then when I found out after the fact that it was the director's daughter, I said, okay, well that makes sense. So, oh yeah, what more can I say? This movie is almost 3 hours long. And when I started it, I didn't know until I checked the timestamp. And when I saw like 2 hours and 45 minutes, I thought, holy fucking shit, I'm going to be here forever. But honestly, watching it, it didn't feel long. It had an interesting pace to it. It never really dragged. I was into it. I think I was more into what this movie was doing, what this movie was accomplishing. It was fascinating to see everyone in this movie age. Not just the kid, but all of the other actors, the parents, the sister. Seeing everyone age, I thought was pretty fascinating. Sure, you could have had some scenes taken out to make this movie a little tighter, but hell, if it took me 12 years to shoot a movie, I probably wouldn't want to take anything out either. It would be one of the longest movies ever. I can't blame him there. So, yeah, thumbs up for Boyhood. I recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Anyways, guys, if you have seen Boyhood, let me know in the comments below. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.